Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is yet another office hours for myIRA.fund. And like our office hours, we're really
Morning,
wanting
good
this to be a
afternoon, good
casual,
wherever,
dynamic, and
whenever
I'm going to bring open the
in.
agenda that we've been working through. And wherever you're watching, there should be a link to AiAgents.Box, or even on my IRA fund, are Google Docs where we have been building in public. And this is now day 23 of our 180-day live stream challenge. And let me go ahead and get the screen share going here. Our Google Docs where we have been building in public. And this is now Oh, I'm getting a little feedback from you, Mike. Of our 180-day. Can you close your mic, or I think it was coming from you. Anyway, screen share. Here we go. Right, share the screen. Here we go. Share. So again, Google Docs. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you all on the other end. And AI agents, this Google Docs is very, very tab heavy. We're going to be spending most of our time here. And if you want to unpack the backstory of this 180-day challenge, you can read about it on the Home tab. And we've got a template here that we're working off of. I haven't even copied this. Let me actually do that right now, because duplicate. So while I'm doing that, real quick, I wanted to get some reflection from you, Ernest, or I am Lotus. How did you like yesterday's iLocal FYI call?
I loved it.
Good. Looking forward to having more of
I sent her
those.
an email.
Good. Love it. Thank you. Looking forward to having more situations like that. And that's one of the things that being able to foster that and bring more uh, experience that we provide from an on-chain perspective to local communities across the globe is something that we can amplify. And that's one of the things that I'm really excited with. And AiAgents.Box is our public good. iLocal, FYI, is our sister organization, and this is one of the things that we have architected into our tokenomics for my IRA fund to really bring about more public goods. But anyway, one of the things, if you would like, Mike, and if you don't want to, feel free to not. But I've known Mike for several decades. Man, like makes me feel old. Like 20, 25 years that I have known Mike as a IT professional. If you'd like to do a real quick introduction, feel free to. If you want to opt out, that's completely up to you. But we're here to have conversations about launching my IRA fund. And I don't see Mike opening his mic, so we'll just roll up our sleeves and get into the conversation as soon as my computer stops having a little spinning wheel. Oh, I see Mike has his mic open. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of a loop. I don't know if everyone's on mute or not. I can't tell where it's coming from.
Probably a tab. If you look up at your tabs, you should see if any of them are have sound going.
Well, guys, my name is Mike Schonecker. I've known Jason for quite a while. I'm happy to be here. Happy to contribute. As he mentioned, I've been in the business for about 25 years. Started off my career working with Jason, and just by happenstance ran back into him, and I reached out to him and had a great conversation. So I'm excited to learn more about what you guys have been working on and excited to be a part of it. happenstance ran back into him and reached out to him. Great conversation. So I'm excited.
Is Mr. Young, is Jason muting himself?
Yes, thank you for that, Ernest. I was talking with my hardware button on mute. So, thank you for your introduction there, Mike. And as a lifetime technologist, I've never been more excited to see the technology evolution as what's possible with AI agents. And just looking at our templated office hours here, always love talking about our FELG culture, fun, earning, learning, and giving. And as you can see, I didn't spend any time on the agenda because this is one of the things we're really wanting the office hours to be really casual, where people can bounce in, bounce out, ask some questions. And feel free, Mike, if you have any questions while we're going through things. I would rather spend this time, answering your questions, because we're going to continue, like, whether we're here on the Zoom live stream, we're going to keep on building. Like, as I've mentioned to my family and publicly, I'm planning to work harder the next 6 months than I have in the last 6 years combined. And it's not that I haven't done things in the last 6 years, but the timing as far as where we're at, one of the things that's providing a sense of urgency to me is that I believe that people, builders such as ourselves, that work to create a network effect using AI agents may have a competitive advantage, especially if they're building intentional, well thought out agentic AI frameworks. So, that being said, before we just start rolling our sleeves up, is there any questions as far as things that we should talk about for my IRA fund, or should we just start going into getting things done?
No old business for me.
All right. Well, and I'm not sure if you caught that, Mike, but as you can see on the agenda here, we don't have any agenda for our office hours. If you've got questions while we're going through things, feel
Yep.
free to raise your hand or ask, or whatever the case may be, because again, would rather spend time helping people that want to contribute to understand things than just because we're going to continue even when we're not on our Zoom or live stream and get things done. And in this Google Docs, we're here on our IRA 14 Office Hours tab. Let's go to our Teams tab, and this is where we've really working on what we need to do to launch my IRA fund. And I should really like I'm gonna put a little note here to myself to add insert launch phases slide here from our slide deck. And our slide deck is very much a work in progress. This is something that we just started working with. And just to kind of bring things full circle, it looks like that there's additional opportunity with the One Piece Labs, which is Pitch Dojo. They run a Pitch Dojo on a monthly basis, and I got a follow up email with the main coordinator for One Piece Labs to grab some time on his calendar so that we can hopefully get positioned either in February or March to pitch myIRA.fund. And this is one of the things that I would really encourage everybody to just kind of have some radar or some eyesights open as far as some potential pitch opportunities. Because one thing that I know, the way that I'm wired, if I know that I have an opportunity to pitch my IRA fund, um, this slide deck that's very much a work in progress. It will get finalized with a version 1 very quickly. So I'm just going to add a comment here to myself as an action item. Action item. Save, comment. All right, so looking here, pitch events. That was this here that I was just talking about, and going down to other things. So this is one of the things that we've had some ideation around, because with our first two phases, our alpha phase and our beta phase, alpha is where we're looking to onboard the first 100 founding members. This is where we're shortlisting some potential ideas around that. One of the things that we have, we've really like, and I don't know if there's a way to do a cross out, but one of the key decisions that we have identified is KYC, know your customer. And this is something that's, we shortlisted these solutions because these are the two solutions that have capabilities within our Charmverse. And this is where we're creating our DAO portal. Our Charmverse space is very much a work in progress. One of the things that I don't know when I created this, but this was a new database that I created called Crypto IRA Market Analysis. And these are some of the providers. Tyler and I are currently a customer of Alto IRA. And just to amplify, one of the personally motivating reasons that we are wanting to create myIRA.fund, the last 2.5 years that Tyler and I have had our account at Alto IRA, and I just did a token swap literally after I got off of our Zoom conversation here, where we just elevated our transaction costs from 5,700, probably close to six, maybe $7,000 now with this last token swap that I did. I don't know if you all saw, but did you see where Venice dropped their token? And Venice.ai, let me actually open up. Venice AI is a privacy middleware, is the best way to look at it. And I thought that that was brilliant that Eric Voorhees had everything lined up so that they could do their token launch with surrounding all the publicity that DeepSeek is getting. Not going to unpack DeepSeek, but going back to our smart contracts database, and let me just show you here real quick. VVV, and this is do your own research. This is still very much VVV in a price discovery mechanism because this token literally just dropped yesterday. And as I mentioned, I was very surprised to see liquidity on all of these centralized exchanges happen like almost overnight. So this is something that they'd obviously been planning for a while, and it was very timely because I think most of us that aren't in, well, and even people that are in China know that the CCP is absolutely spying on the entire Chinese population. So really positioning Venice as a privacy middleware and what we're looking to architect with our agentic AI, and best describing it as an AI agency, like with myIRA.fund, really wanting it to be a myIRA agency as far as the technology solution that we're looking to build here. So went off on that tangent just a little bit on this, but wanted to get back to this table here. And this is something that is a great opportunity for us to create some content. I know that I'm going to personally take an action item to see, like, I Trust Capital. They're currently the market leader in the crypto IRA space. I believe that what we're bringing to the table is a unique value proposition because both of these solutions here are only providing access to Coinbase, the centralized exchange here. It doesn't provide true access to DeFi, and I'm not going to unpack what all that means because that's a complicated topic in and of itself. So anyway, scrolling down here to the document, just waiting for this to catch up a little bit. So
Jason, real quick.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How did you what tool were you using, or how did you find out about Venison before the drop? What are you using? Was it do they do pre-IPOs in crypto like that?
So this was a I understand like Eric Voorhees already had a big airdrop that he did historically. I was a little late to sign up for their pro service. Eric Voorhees was the co-founder or founder of Shapeshift, which is still one of the largest exit to community models that has ever occurred in the history of crypto. So you can do some searches on the internet for shapeshift and airdrop to understand that. I was
Okay.
speculating that, and then also like on crypto Twitter, and also I follow a lot. There's a very strong narrative around crypto on crypto Twitter, and let me see what's trending right now because of who that I follow. um, I have different things that show up on my radar here as far as what's trending and stuff like that. So by who that you follow, and this is one of
Right.
the opportunities of AI agents, like let's talk about AI XBT. So this is the AI agent, AIXBT, and you can see here's their link tree. Let's talk about virtuals. This was something that I showed you briefly on our conversation. So
Yeah.
number go up, number go down. Looking at sorting on market cap, um, AIXBT has like one of the large, and it's kind of funny. I'm not even familiar. Have you looked at Toshi at all, Ernest?
No, but I'm familiar with the IXBT. And to access their agent and terminal, you need 600,000 of their tokens. You need to hold it. You can get lots of updates from them for free in their Telegram and stuff. Uh, but if you actually want to access to their terminal and their data that they're generating through their project, you got to be a significant holder of their tokens. Each virtual is different though. Like for the music virtual, I only gotta hold 1,000 of their tokens, and then I can access their website and create music.
Hmm.
And then also like, hey, Anon and Vader are the other two that we're watching. Vader is gonna drop a vault soon. That's gonna be, vaults once they get completely funded. The vault, you can't add any more liquidity into that vault. And they got a medium risk vault that they're coming out with soon that'll be accessible to folks. Um, and then I need to recircle back with Hey Anon. But that's a interesting community that's supposed to be affordable for traders and still get access to a lot of the, uh, basically the DAO, right, decides, well, depending on who in the DAO is holding the most tokens, right? You always got to look. You may, if you create the DAO and then you buy 60% of the tokens, you're now like the majority stakeholder in that DAO. And then you get to dictate the features of the AI agent. And then, what content or data is gated by holding, tokens in the DAO.
Hmm.
So they have a sandbox. I found the sandbox a little wonky. I need to experiment with it more, but it's like game dot something. And you can basically create an agent that would be tokenized, and it gives you a little interface where you can communicate with it. Um, but you can't. It's not really not exactly what I was looking for, but
And one of the important metrics here is influence metrics. So you can see like here, and this is imported, or this is something that cookie.fun which is a DAO. I haven't gone really too far down the cookie rabbit hole to munch on some cookies, but going back to like AIXBT, looking at the statistic here compared to Vader, AIXBT has like 9% of the mind share. So they've got a lot more followers. Like this, the tweets from AIXBT are automated, and you can see that this account has 448,000 followers. So that's how many people, and this is numbers gone up like just in the last 3 weeks. I think this number had 350,000 followers. So you think about an automated AI agent that has that much influence, and that's one of the things that affects the influence metrics over here as far as mind share. So however, AIXBT has built their AI agentic framework. That's one of the things that they're sharing through and tokenomics. It's clear that AIXBT has some great tokenomics because their market cap and number go up, number go down, and it goes up and goes down really, really fast. You can see like a lot of these
Well,
have
so the main
go ahead,
the
Ernest.
main the main thing is the projects you there's speculation on the utility of the tokens for the project, right? And then there's actual utility for the tokens of the project. And you'll get a lot of volatility, like you're saying, with market cap and mind share based on uh, perceived, speculated what's coming down the pipeline. But fundamentally, there's utility in an agent, whether it's for pleasure, like one of the popular, I don't, can't see if it's like one of the, I'd have to scroll through it and search, but one of the real popular ones is basically just a 3D avatar on YouTube that's real beautiful, and you chat with it and interact with it, and it's live and running 24/7, but it's basically just kind of like soft mega porn for young crypto bros,
Well, and
Well,
like
which is a
one,
market, right? Like,
oh
well,
man, tell me about
but
it. One of our biggest customers was Pornhub.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's reality. Not to go down that, right? But essentially, you know, uh, that's what some of the projects are.
Makes sense.
But with the
Well, and I've
agents and
got,
the AI stuff in particular, in fundamental analysis, this mind share category is an important new metric that's in that you can identify fundamentally, like market cap. Um, but it applies to agents. You don't have a like mind share of Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? So
Hmm.
that's a new dynamic in fundamental analysis. Of course, we know on chain, right? So like Bitcoin's fundamental analysis is all the on chain metrics, right? And then you got sentiment analysis.
and
Uh,
I've got one up here, Hackin AI, and like you look at the biography, I am an AI agent and an ethical hacker. My mission is to make the web a safer place. I'm a 24/7 cybersecurity layer for the whole Web3. I am constantly learning and observing all available Web3. Hacking has been a long established. So this is one that I would say probably from a utility standpoint. And the thing that's exciting to me is that this AI agent, this Hackin AI, and it's not that this is some, I don't believe that this is a gimmicky dynamic. Hackin has a long established reputation within the Web3 ecosystem for doing security analysis on smart contracts, but they launched this AI agent, this Hackin HAI token 18 days ago, and it has a market cap of 33 million, number go up, number go down. And
but
looking at like,
what's is there a website link there that uh because the key
um,
is like what's the utility of the token, or how do you access their or how do you contribute to their project? Other than just buying a token, there's usually some type of, yeah, if you hold high, it gives you a stake in their company. They have apps and an ecosystem, and so you're going to have roles or membership levels within that ecosystem that are gated by the amount of tokens that you have of that virtual, or how you're using those tokens, like in staking or something like that.
So, and just to put some like numbers on things, this Hacken token is 4 cents, and it was, back here, it looks like it launched on December 29th, and it's definitely pulled back in here. And again, I don't know what the underlying utility is but this is one that I would say probably has a lot more utility because it's a very different niche. Trading intelligence and sentiment analysis, and that's a different niche and a different opportunity. But like creating the situation where you've got agents that are ethically hacking, and that's something that should and can be automated through well thought out design. And you can see the community sentiment on CoinMarketCap, very favorable, bullish. So this is another one, that could really change the game with an early. And I don't know what their go to market strategy is with
So
their AI. Go ahead, Ernest.
yeah, so you can imagine what if, because they do auditing services. Okay, so you can imagine that by being a token holder in the agent, you might get 5 contracts audited a month if you hold 1,000 tokens, right? And then if you want to hold 10,000 tokens, guess what? We'll keep your whole GitHub repo audited on a daily basis, right? So I'd have to dive a little deeper into their website and the virtual itself. But you can see how if you have an actual service as a DAO or a product as a DAO, which anybody that's been in DAOs the last few years know that it's one thing to spin up a brand that's a DAO. It's another thing to actually be able to IP that brand. And then it's another thing to be a community with an IP and a brand and no product, no revenue model, and no way for your community to engage itself and thrive.
Mhm. I would agree.
Right. So uh obviously the easiest utility that I use in testing is just gating a community based on an IPable brand. And so
You're talking about intellectual property, right?
just a meme coin, right? So
Yeah.
like we're always mechanical cupcakes is a meme around here.
Well,
But so
let's talk about that real quick because that didn't come up on our previous conversation, Mike, is because you see Ernest rocking out a mechanical cupcake. That is it Penelope that generates the mechanical cupcakes?
no, there's a mythology. So essentially, as a meme coin, it's a community with a mythology. There's a hierarchy for the um, what gets created. So Penelope was the first creator of the first mechanical cupcake. There are settings that I have, and there are some cupcakes that have been created. And actually, I'll drop a link in here so that you can collect a free. Basically, you just choose which cupcake you want and give me your Arbitrum address, and then I'll send you a cupcake. But as a community, right, I can gate access to our community. I can have an agent that onboards you by telling you how to claim an NFT, how to create your own cupcake to be added to the mythology, and or how to create your own scene and add it to the mythology. And on Story Protocol, I IP Penelope and the mythology that's generated from its interactions, you know. And then if you hold 1,000 cupcakes, you get to upload your origin story, your cupcake, a story that you created about a certain place, and you get to add it to the IP mythology. Um, so that's just real simple. Like, you got to care about the meme, right? But you got a meme coin. Memes have gated community content, and then there's something fun. And fundamentally, I just want to test Story Protocol and test how to actually get on-chain IP and connect that to an AI personality. And onboarding, everybody onboards, right? So if you can onboard somebody in a sandbox to a meme coin community with an AI dungeon master, then you can use that same onboarding process, the same IP process, complexify the gating, complexify the services, add products. I'm really close to being able to create an ebook. So I'm branding assets using Canva and organizing those branded assets. And then it's going to become super easy as soon as I figure Story Protocol out to move those branded assets from Canva into and onto Story Protocol and have an actual IP.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
I just linked in the Zoom chat story.foundation, and on the screen is the story.foundation. So Story is positioning itself as the world's intellectual property blockchain. And this is where the opportunity for us to really be thoughtful about building out this agentic AI framework or frameworks within our ecosystem. And we'll be having more and more conversations about agentic AI, and Mechanical Cupcakes has an interesting backstory. I was sending Tyler, my wife, the little robot emoji, and she's like, "What is that? A cupcake?" And I was like, if Tyler thinks that that's a cupcake, there will probably be other people that might think that the emoji robot is a cupcake. And I was like, mechanical cupcakes could be fun, and the opportunity, and that can just be one ways that we can add fun sorts of visualizations to building out the agents, and the opportunity to have a potential portfolio of brand assets. But the thing that was exciting was, it seems that that was some low-hanging fruit that we're leaning into very, very early on, as far as just, and I don't know, to kind of bring it back to my IRA fund, I don't know how much that Mechanical Cupcakes will fit into from a execution strategy with my IRA fund, but who knows? Like, the opportunity with this platform that we're building and can build with my IRA fund, that really, like, because I could really envision us fostering the dynamic that allows people to really tinker with various trading strategies. And when you get a strategy implemented that you can automate through like a trading bot, and then the
Yep.
opportunity to allow other people to access that trading strategy through our network effect that we will create, it can be very exciting, where we can really foster people to individually tinker to create these trading strategies that we can amplify through a network effect that we can create through various brands, such as my IRA fund or whatever the case may be, throughout our entire ecosystem. So
So
go ahead, Ernest.
so working that, so that's one of the things I've been testing. So currently I have Koa, which is a customized GPT, and it's customized specifically with the assumption that it's going to be with like new users or new people, and explaining things to new folks simply. It's also programmed to be really cautious and to keep the user safe. But it has a full knowledge base of marketing strategies, trading strategies, investment strategies, and then with a focus on blockchain in particular. I used it to generate a blog post that basically just summarizes, because we have a Bitcoin swing low identified several months ago in August, and we have a swing high identified here just recently. And so just using fib retracements and a dollar cost average strategy, I had Koa explain that strategy, do the math, show the math, and then publish it to then I published it to a blog post. So I was able to give Koa the strategy, tell it the parameters of the strategy, the fib retracements that I wanted to focus on, the fib extensions to focus on for taking profits. Yeah, you have to go to my paragraph. I didn't want to publish non-financial advice, but right. So for new folks, don't even know how to create a portfolio. They don't know how to manage risks. They don't know how to set up a strategy. You don't need to create a strategy. There's over 4,000 different strategies that are well known and have certain percentages of hit rates based on your risk profile.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that. Jason and I were talking about this book I read, and I've actually put it in, I implemented what they talk about out of the book into a very mechanical, like I have to log into a website, I have to take some data out of a spreadsheet, populate the website, and then track it. And I was doing that, and I was getting 20% return all the time. Yep, that's it. The little blue book that beat the market. So that strategy, I'd like to try and do that just to see it work. But it has worked.
So I'm an Elliott wave trader. I use RSI, and I use the 3-frame method for identifying entries and exits and trends.
What is it called again?
I use a 3-frame method. So when I open up TradingView, and we can chat sometime. I can actually,
let's do that. I don't want to sidetrack the conversation.
But you know what RSI is? Right. Have you ever downloaded? Do you have an account on TradingView, a free account?
No, I've got an E-Trade account and I got a Robinhood account.
Okay, gotcha. So you have the ability to buy and sell, but there's some basic tools that you need to be able to analyze.
Right.
And essentially you decide whether you want to analyze based on sentiment, based on fundamentals, or based on technical analysis, or some combination of all three.
So they have kind of combinations of how you're feeling that day to go ahead and trade.
Well, sentiment analysis is going to go hop on a website, look at what's trending. It's going to scan through Twitter to see what people are saying about something. Wow. It's going to try to identify through sentiment when people are in fear or greed. And then your strategy is you buy when people are fearful and you sell when they're greedy, right? If you're doing
interesting.
Right? That's that simple, right?
Wow, that's
and then
cool.
there's fundamental analysis, which is what's this project's token, what's the tokenomics, what's the supply, what's the project doing, is it using GitHub, is it what's the market cap, what's the stock to earning ratio, all those things that stock companies report on themselves, right? That's all fundamental analysis, shareholder value. Same thing in crypto, but technical analysis is when you see people looking at price charts and they use trading view to basically measure price and volume, and then you combine that with indicators who do additional measurement on price and volume, and then you develop a strategy. Like when this indicator gets hot, I sell. When it flashes green, I buy.
It's an if then else.
Yeah, well, yeah, and there's lots of I do technical analysis, and I use Elliott Wave. I use the relative strength index. So, because you need to be able to look at the price, the momentum, and time. If you can compare price over time, you can analyze and assess the momentum. So there's a reason why tops are curved, because the buying momentum slows down and there's a correction and then price comes down, and then people are tired of selling and then price goes up, right? So you can
You can add
identify
behavior. I guess you can identify behavior too, right? That behavior.
that is a behavior. And that's why I like Elliott Wave, because essentially what Elliott Wave says is there's impulses and there's corrections. And if you can identify the impulses, you can estimate the most likely corrections.
Hmm.
And then you're either at that point a breakout trader, a trend trader, or you're a range trader. So I use grid bots. I'm really good at identifying ranges. I'm not good at identifying like really good bottoms and tops.
Mm-hmm.
So my main strategy, the bulk of my portfolio, is in grid bots. So I got a grid bot on Solana, 700% APR right now, 5x leverage. As long as it trades between the range of 163 and 250, it's printing me money. Now it
Wow.
only makes like $1 a trade because I don't have very much money in the bot, but that's $1 a trade I don't have to manage. Like I just got to be like, is it still going to stay in this range? Yep.
Right.
Keep trading, whether it's going up or down. Every time it goes up and down, it's trading, because it'll buy a little bit below. Then when it goes up, it sells that. When it goes up, it sells a little more. And then
Yeah.
as it comes down, it keeps buying.
Can you do a stop loss on it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And to take profit, which is
And
the two like and then so journaling is like the other thing. Regardless of what you're doing, uh there's a trading journals that help you track your portfolio, how you still have to decide how you're going to set up your portfolio, how you're going to manage risk, how much of your total funds are you going to allocate to this high risk altcoin, and
it's
then
all
here you
data. It's all data points that you can collectively base a decision upon, right?
yeah, and I got a spreadsheet that helps me with that. And then mostly I'm not trying to pay attention and trade every day. So I really like the grid bots, which are very automatic. And then I do a lot of staking within the Cosmos ecosystem and in DeFi, and then like balancer pools. So essentially I provide liquidity pools and stake.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm just always accumulating tokens and then using those tokens, providing liquidity, getting yields based off of fees for being a market maker, and staying away from a lot of the magic DeFi shit and just
Right.
keeping it simple, like just being a liquidity pool, you know, and
Yeah.
know how that liquidity pool generates a yield. Is it being incentivized by an incentive that's going to run out? Then you don't want to stay in that liquidity pool when the incentives run out. So you might
Right.
have to monitor that liquidity pool every week and be like, hey, okay, like it's still going. I'm still getting rewards. I'm still also getting fees from
Yeah.
providing liquidity, I'm staying in. As soon as
Right.
those rewards went out, I'm out. And then I just put that into a USDC pool that's earning me 20% until I'm ready to put that money back into another liquidity pool, the hot new coin or
Hmm. Cool.
Well,
whatever.
and one of the things I'm looking at the time, we're already 2 minutes past the hour here, and always want to be respectful of everyone's time. And one of the fun things that we're doing to uh, provide Ernest with all the efforts that he's been doing. Want to thank you, Ernest, for all the stuff that you're doing. But this is a blog post that we just published that the other day, and one of the things that I haven't done yet is collect the NFT that represents this particular article. And this is another great showcase of programmable money. And what this is built using paragraph.xyz. And there's multiple reasons that we're using Paragraph, but think of Medium meets Substack is functionally what Paragraph is. And what it provides us the capability to do is to, first of all, have that sort of functionality where, and one of the reasons that I like it, we've got our blog.AiAgents.Box on our custom domain. So we permanently, through us owning this URL, AiAgents.Box, regardless of what happens with Paragraph, we will always be able to own this URL. So the opportunity to potentially move this content to another home. But one of the things that we've done using programmable money is that we've created a split contract. So we actually structured this so that we can collect this at a small cost. So you can see here it's 0.0003 ETH, which is, a dollar, a couple dollars, something like that. And we limited the supply of this particular NFT to be only 100. So I'm actually going to go through and mint this, and then I'll show you here with what that looks like on the splits, because this number will go up instantly after I collect the NFT. So right now it's $1.95. Let me connect my wallet here. I'm going to collect this NFT. So it's requesting the connection. This is me going through the process. I'm still using MetaMask, have largely shifted to recommending Coinbase wallet for lots of different reasons. So I'm going to go through the process of collecting this NFT right now. So let me go through, click on collect post, and then this is going to bring open another transaction. And let's see what this cost is, because I may want to lower this from 0.003. This is the transaction request, and I believe that this is step 1 of 2. I think it's going to open up another one here where I'm going to approve. Well, that me collected it. So here's me, the one collector. Oh, let me refresh this. So let me go back to the splits and refresh this. So this, let's see what that number is now. So that amount doubled. So that was approximately $2 of value. And then the way that this split works, 50% of this goes to the organizational AiAgents.Box treasury, 25% goes to me, and then 25% goes to Ernest for contributing to our ecosystem. So that's how amazing programmable money is. This was all done permissionlessly. It didn't cost us anything, maybe a slight transaction fee, a penny or something like that, to create this smart contract. And that's just a good example. And we created this to distribute the balances manually, because that's one of the ways this can be done automatically, but we designed it to, and it's a mutable split. So this is something, using this account here, I can go in and change this to another situation later based upon programmable money. So this is just one of the fun ways that we're continuing to experiment with creating value and then rewarding people. So again, thank
That's
you,
cool.
Ernest. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to stop the share here. Again, always want to be respectful of everybody's time. So loved the new conversation here, and that's one of the reasons that love this format, because we've got a long list of things to do, and the list of things continues to get chipped away, whether we're on a live stream or not. But anyway, any final thoughts before we bring today's office hours to a close? We'll be back in less than 4 hours for AiAgents.Box conversations, where we're going to continue to build in public. But I'm going to go on mute and let you all chime in some closing thoughts.
Good stuff. I got a lot of homework to do. As you guys can probably tell, I'm a little green at the crypto stuff, but I get the mechanics of what you guys are trying to accomplish. I like it. I see a lot of
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. All right. I see a lot of parallels that I'm excited about. Things that you guys have discovered a lot already. You guys know a lot already. Things that I've only scratched the surface on, but never had an ability or a team to like try to bring to fruition. I think I could definitely see us putting stuff together that I've had ideas on for years. And maybe you already have seen it, and maybe it's not worthwhile, and maybe it is. You never know. But that's what collective thought process is all about. So this is cool that you put this together, Jason.
Hey, we're just getting started here, Mike. This is only day 23 of our 180-day sprint building in public, and this is the culmination of collective years of experience that we bring to the table to really be able to hit the ground running to launch a brand like myIRA.Fund, where we can really, hopefully, set free a lot of, like, because one of the things that Ernest mentioned, like I showed you when we were having our conversation earlier, Mike, about the insane staking yields that are possible through this new token launch. And there's an immense amount of volume. And I personally, with all the capital that we have in our IRAs, don't have access to do something like liquidity pools or stake the Venice, the VVV token that we just entered a decently large position today, and the opportunity through being more strategic where I can stake that, lock up the tokens, because that's a strategy, a tokenomics strategy that ecosystem builders like Eric Voorhees with Venice AI has architected to dry up some of the liquidity, because when you stake it, whether it's a 6-month or a 12-month or an 18-month, it basically locks up that token where you can't exit that position. And the more tokens that are staked, they can create an economic incentive to provide yield for locking that token up. But that's one of the things that we will absolutely build through myIRA.Fund is providing mechanisms that we can do a lot more experimentation within DeFi and all the other fun things that these builders, these Web3 builders, these on-chain crypto builders have architected to using various, it's basically game mechanics. It's programmable money, and that's one of the things that there's still continued lots and lots of experimentation done. But looking forward to creating our own value dynamic through all the different AI agent brands that we're going to be launching through AiAgents.Box. But again, 11 minutes after the hour, done talking. I'm going to go on mute. I'm going to wave goodbye. And if anybody else wants to say goodbye, I already saw or heard I Am Lotus giving us some adieu, but here we are.
Does
I didn't know my mic was on, but see you guys later. And Ernest, I need to learn how to do liquidity pool like you're doing.
let me know. I'm always just get a time going.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can have a financial meeting, and talk about how we can leverage some of those skills up front. I mean,
I don't have the ability to create Luma events yet.
Hey, we will get that resolved for you. I promise, Ernest, here, because I'm really hoping and praying that you will lead the charge while I'm on a big boat chilling with the family here this next week, and that's one of the things that we will talk about. And we will again be back in less than 4 hours to continue the conversation. Love this format. Love hanging out. Love. Like you may be green, Mike, but that's where we can really use your greenness for our advantage so that we can make this as easy as possible for people. Because that's the big shift that we get to build towards is the easier and the uncomplicated, as a lifetime IT professional, there's an absolute art in taking something as complicated about all this on-chain, all this blockchain technology, all the AI, all the AI agents, and the better that we can do simplifying that and just focus on one thing, results. And the better that we do creating results for our members that we're building our cooperative ownership models around, the results will always speak for themselves.
I agree. Cool. All
So
right.
next time we'll be back.
All right. Cheers.
Ciao.